was who landed the big fish. Because you get people know my dad. My dad he was super handsome, but more than that, he was super charismatic and smart and forward-thinking and sweet and like fun to be around. But my mom was like dynamic and exciting and intelligent and talented. And
beautiful. Beautiful.
And you know, and my dad, like in that era for women at that time, you know, she was in college, she was crushing in college. She was like, she said she had like offered a fellowship and had written this paper on economics of like the Russia and the oil industry in the 1950s, and that
She and Bob used to argue about the depletion allowance.
I don't even know what that means. Right. So she said she had a paper archived at University of Houston. I went to try and find it for her. She died before I could find it, and so I stopped looking for it. But she made the decision, like a lot of women at that time, to like couch her trajectory, you know, and she moved to Boston. And it's fun to talk to some of the women who are still around, who were around at that time, who coveted my dad's presence and always thought like they were gonna like get a chance. And then when my mom showed up, they were like, game over.
Yeah.
You know, she showed up. This woman was like intelligent and beautiful. She had a southern accent. She could play the piano and the guitar, and she could paint and sew, and she's making her own clothes. You know, people were just like, all right, yeah, Bob's off limits, or yeah, he's done. And she had unbelievable talents, and everyone respected her for that. She was the only mother in our neighborhood who had carte blanche to cut any kid's hair. And all the moms were like, if Louann's doing it, it's gonna come out great, and I trust her, and she's saying something that I'm not.
I don't recall her being good at cutting hair.
Boys' hair, not girls' hair.
Boys' hair.
Oh, boys' hair, you did all the crinkly.
Yeah, she cut the boys' hair.
It's real sweet coming from you.
Yeah.
That explains it all.
You know, she could have been involved in mine when I was
Talking about the gasoline.
on the picnic table. And I don't have this good thing to win, they would just whack my hair off. But, you know, I've grown a little in 9 months. Sorry.
No, you're wrong.
Lauren suggested I tell her most infamous haircut to my cousin John. My cousin John's a little older than Louisa, and when they were little kids, they would hand the kids back and forth. My Aunt Betsy, my dad's sister, and this one weekend, they were at some like horse show in Western Mass, and then my dad and mom were coming home with Louisa early, and they were like, can you take John? And so they take John, and back then, you know, they had the station wagon, and the car seat was the crib. You put the kid in the crib, and then you slide it into the back of the station wagon. And they kicked it out. And John didn't want to be in there, he was all angry, but they drove all the way back, and eventually he probably fell asleep, but when he got home, he had gum in his hair because he'd been chewing gum. And so my mom was like, all right, how do we get it out? And she tried to use peanut butter. So she put peanut butter on his hair. And that didn't work, because why would that work? But I'm really surprised that the gasoline didn't work also. But my mom has stick-to-itiveness, because when gasoline doesn't take gum out of a kid's hair, you try kerosene. So the kerosene didn't work. And my favorite part, we did a drive around to all the houses that my parents lived in Wellesley after my dad passed away. And we went to the original house that they lived in, and there was a dead car in the front yard of this house that looked abandoned.
Up to here.
And he goes, right where that dead car is, there was a stump of an old maple tree, and that's where your mom poured gasoline in my head.
Oh my God.
So my mom, in the end, because she doesn't want to be a failure, because she's going to see things through, she shaved his head. So she enjoyed doing this, because she didn't get along great with my Aunt Betsy. She very much enjoyed delivering her gas and kerosene stinking, shaved headed peanut butter slushy. So yeah, she came to town and so I have a clearer vision of my mom kind of being, I didn't know that she was this amazing at the time. It's hindsight and realizing that she had all these talents. And then I'm kind of going to jump ahead because my mom and dad had